If you had to guess the number one cause of mortality in the world, you might say cancer, disease, or even car accidents, which is no doubt pretty high in the list. But the number one cause of mortality is myocardial infarction, better known as a heart attack. Heart attacks are caused by atherosclerosis or plaque buildup in your arteries. Research from the last 2 decades has shown just how prevalent this disease is, and how early in life it affects you, which you may find shocking. In this video, I'll be discussing the dark science of atherosclerosis. Just as the heart supplies blood and oxygen to organs in the body, the coronary artery delivers blood and oxygen to the heart itself, as it's a working muscle. A heart attack occurs when the coronary artery becomes blocked with a blood clot, thus stopping blood flow and oxygen to the heart. The coronary artery is fairly large, with a diameter of 4 millimeters, or the size of a drinking straw. The artery becomes blocked when the arterial wall ruptures due to excessive plaque buildup within the wall. When the artery ruptures, plaque and clotting factors are released into the blood. These clotting factors cause red blood cells to stick together and form clots, which then blocks blood flow. The question is, how did the plaque get there in the first place? 2 factors explain why: LDL cholesterol and blood vessel inflammation. Cholesterol is a sticky fatty lipid found in red meat, processed lunch meats, butter, baked goods, and fried foods. It's essential for development of cell membranes and production of vitamin D. We acquire most of it through our diet, but it can be made in the liver when supplies are low. Cholesterol, like any nutrient, has to be transported throughout the body to reach cells for nutrition. Being a fat and having a nonpolar structure, cholesterol is insoluble in blood, since it's 90% water. Therefore, cholesterol has to be transported by a specific carrier protein, called a lipoprotein. Your body has 2 kinds of lipoproteins: high-density lipoprotein, or HDL, and low-density lipoprotein, or LDL. HDL and LDL differ by where they transport cholesterol to. HDL picks up excess cholesterol and transports it to the liver, where it's converted into bile. By contrast, LDL transports cholesterol to cells all around your body. Since HDL removes excess cholesterol and only has one route, it's in your blood for a shorter period of time, and is called good cholesterol. By contrast, LDL has multiple routes in your body, and has more exposure time in the blood. It also has multiple sugar groups on its surface, making it extra sticky. Because it's in the blood for a longer period of time and has sticky sugars, LDL is known as bad cholesterol, and gets stuck in your arterial walls. But how does it get there? But first, a fitting sponsor for today's video, AG1. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that is formulated to raise your baseline health by supporting the whole body, brain, and gut. Each scoop provides important vitamins, antioxidants, probiotics, and minerals that supply important nutrition and keeps your body healthy. But seriously, it really does help your overall health. A single scoop of AG1 has the complete daily required intake of vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamins B1, B2, B7, B12, niacin, zinc, and folate. To match this nutrition from food, you would have to eat multiple serving sizes of oranges, eggs, berries, meat, nuts, seeds, and leafy vegetables. With AG1, all you need is a single scoop and 8 ounces of water. This host of important vitamins and minerals are key to fulfilling your daily nutritional needs. Antioxidants counteract free radicals in your body, thereby supporting cardiovascular health and metabolism. Daily intake of vitamin C and zinc is crucial to managing your immune system. When you subscribe, your welcome kit will come with a 30-day supply of AG1, a shaker bottle, a canister for storing AG1 powder, a liquid tincture of vitamin D3 and K2, and a 30-day supply of AG1 travel packs. From my own experience, AG1 gives me more energy throughout the day to where I'm drinking less coffee to stay awake, and no longer rely on pre-workout to have a thorough exercise. Beyond having more energy and my nutritional needs met, I find I'm less stressed and have better focus and clarity after having taken AG1 for just a few weeks. Head to drinkag1.com/darkscience to get a free 1-year supply of AG vitamin D3 and K2, plus 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase of AG1. You can find the link in the description below. Because it's in the blood for a longer period of time and has sticky sugars, LDL is known as bad cholesterol, and gets stuck in your arterial walls. But how does it get there? This is where blood vessels come into play. Blood vessels are made of special cells called endothelial cells. These cells form tight junctions to retain integrity of the blood vessel, handle pressure, and retain fluids. However, being exposed to blood, endothelial cells also come in contact with inflammatory substances in the blood. Whether you eat, drink, or smoke, everything you put in your body gets absorbed into your bloodstream. When you consume inflammatory substances like trans fats, saturated fats, sugar, tobacco byproducts, and alcohol, they all get absorbed into the blood. Consequently, these inflammatory molecules come in contact with endothelial cells and damage them. Over time, as endothelial cells become damaged, their tight junctions lose integrity and become slightly permeable, known as endothelial dysfunction. LDL cholesterol, being sticky and having more exposure time in the blood, tends to accumulate in these permeable openings in the vessel and gets wedged into the arterial wall. Once LDL gets stuck, it stays there forever. In this mechanism, when you ingest more cholesterol by eating red meat, butter, fried food, and baked goods, you increase the amount of cholesterol in your blood, and subsequently increase the chances of cholesterol getting stuck in your arteries. Once inside the arterial wall, LDL becomes oxidized by free radicals, which triggers nearby macrophages to engulf the LDL cholesterol. Macrophages are housekeeping cells that clean up waste such as cell debris, and consume foreign substances to protect the body. Macrophages recognize oxidized substances as a threat, and therefore isolate it from the body by engulfing it. Once inside, the macrophage cannot leave and is there forever. As more LDL cholesterol enters the arterial space, the macrophage continues to engulf it. As the macrophage consumes more LDL, it becomes engorged with cholesterol and becomes what's called a foam cell. Accumulation of enlarged foam cells in the arterial wall greatly contributes to plaque buildup in the artery. If things couldn't get worse, when foam cells reach their end cycle, like all cells do, their cell membrane breaks down, and they release all their cellular components, including tons of cholesterol. Macrophages, being housekeeping cells, are signaled to clean up cell debris when cells break down, and do so even when foam cells break down in the artery. New macrophages enter the arterial space and consume debris and cholesterol. This vicious cycle continues for decades. Additionally, calcium phosphate salts in the blood make their way into the arterial wall and deposit in the plaque, forming a substance called hydroxyapatite, which is the main component found in bone and teeth. Formation of hydroxyapatite causes the arteries to calcify and harden, making arteries less flexible and responsive to blood flow. This arterial hardening is known as sclerosis in Latin, and is part of the word atherosclerosis, which means pasty hardening. At some point, plaque builds up to where the arterial wall loses structural integrity, usually at the shoulder section of the bulge where it's most weakest. The arterial rupture releases cholesterol, fats, and most importantly clotting factors into the bloodstream. These clotting factors cause red blood cells to clot together, creating a blockage in the artery. When clotting happens in the coronary artery, the heart cannot receive oxygen and a heart attack ensues. From here, medical responsiveness determines the outcome. One thing I found truly disturbing about atherosclerosis is just how early it can occur in young people. You would think the presence of plaque in your arteries is something specific to people with poor diet over a long period of time. In two famous studies from the Journal of the American Medical Association, researchers conducted autopsies on American soldiers from the Korean and Vietnam conflicts. The purpose of the study was to see if there was significant plaque buildup in their coronary arteries. In 1953, 300 male soldiers were autopsied from the Korean front, with an average age of 22 years. They found that 77% had overwhelming evidence of plaque buildup in their coronary arteries, and 35% had arterial hardening, something that was believed to have occurred many years later in life. The second study, in 1971, autopsied 105 American soldiers from the Vietnam conflict, also with an average age of 22 years. 45% had atherosclerosis. Prior to these findings, it was believed that plaque buildup was something that didn't occur in young people, especially those who were in peak physical condition. What's even more alarming is recent studies have shown that atherosclerosis can occur at younger ages than previously thought. In 2008, the Journal of Canadian Cardiology investigated plaque buildup in fetuses and infants of mothers who smoke cigarettes. In the study, mothers were selected who smoked between 5 and 20 cigarettes a day, prior to pregnancy and after giving birth. Additionally, 48% of the mothers in the study smoked during their pregnancy. Autopsies were performed on 22 fetuses and 36 infants who passed from natural causes. Researchers found soft plaque lesions in coronary arteries of 83% of fetuses and 94% of infants, along with reduced diameter of the arterial lumen. In comparison to non-smoking mothers, plaque was found in only 20% of fetuses and 15% of infants. In 2002, the Federation of Experimental Biology also found that pregnant mothers who had a diet high in cholesterol gave birth to infants with plaque buildup. During my childhood, I recall being told by adults not to worry about being overly concerned about the food I ate. I was told not to worry about heart problems till I got older. There is some truth to this, as you won't get a heart attack at 9 years old. But as we've seen, plaque accumulation can happen at any age, based on diet and lifestyle. Though a child won't get a heart attack, the plaque you have in your arteries at 60 or 70 was probably first put there when you were a child, again, based on diet. And most kids and teens have a poor diet. You would think with the advent of the internet and improvements in medicine that people would be more aware of their health and eating right. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. By the age of 40, roughly 50% of people have significant plaque buildup in their arteries. Since 2000, heart attacks have increased annually from 2 million to 8.9 million in 2019. Atherosclerosis is an irreversible condition. The oxidized cholesterol, foam cells, cell debris, and LDL lipoproteins are there forever. However, you can reduce the amount of plaque that accumulates in the future. Avoid food that causes inflammation to your endothelial cells. Foods high in trans fats, saturated fats, refined carbohydrates, sugar, and smoking cause inflammation in blood vessel cells, which allows LDL cholesterol to accumulate in arterial walls. Foods high in trans fats, also known as hydrogenated fat, are processed foods, meant to have long shelf life, such as margarine, processed baked goods, microwave popcorn, non-dairy creamer, and fried foods. Foods high in saturated fat and cholesterol are pretty much the same as trans fats, except we add to the list red meat, cheese, ice cream, and butter. A healthy low cholesterol diet includes lean protein, such as poultry and fish, vitamins and antioxidants from fruits and vegetables, and ample fiber from nuts and whole grains. Fruits and vegetables provide antioxidants which reduce inflammation by quenching free radicals, and fiber from whole grains and nuts binds to sticky cholesterol in your small intestine, preventing it from being absorbed into your blood. This video is not intended to make you a hypochondriac or to be fearful of French fries. It is true that atherosclerosis occurs at any age, even as a fetus, infant, or a physically fit young adult. However, the last decade has seen advances in medicine. Today, about 90% of people survive heart attacks. This is due to advances in heart attack procedures such as stents and bypass surgery. Ultimately, this video aims to show you the very real and early effects poor diet and lifestyle can have on the body, when it occurs, and how you can make better choices. Sometimes science can be seen as difficult, foreign, and even boring. Yet, there are times when science grabs our attention and draws us in, yearning for more answers. Often, what draws us in are topics that are dark, macabre, or terrifying. It's with the intention of this video that you too were drawn in and sought to have your questions answered. Thanks for watching Dark Science.